I have been looking forward to this day all week. I am so excited. It snowed! Okay, let's do this. Happen to know close to nothing about dressing for the snow, as I am a little California grown sprout, but I do happen to love a human that is from the Midwest, so I have a little bit to go based off of. Okay, so this looks a little bit chaotic, but I can explain. I have options. This is probably my heaviest and most comfortable coat, but it doesn't feel appropriate for the rain, and it's also for the snow, and it's also really soft. I feel like it'll just get wet really quickly. This is a look, very cute. I wore this in New York. I know that this would keep me warm, but I looked it up and it said you shouldn't wear these in the snow, so that just like kills the whole vibe, you know? But I do have this, and I think this is what I'm gonna go with. It's a little like, what is it? Neoprene? I don't know. It's like a, what is the word I'm looking for? Waterproof material, and I'm gonna put a giant scarf, a beanie, some boots that have a lot of traction. This is the closest thing I have to rain boots. And then I'm just gonna double up on pants. I'm gonna do leggings and sweats because that is the best that I know how to do. And I don't have waterproof pants because this doesn't happen a lot. And then I'm just gonna put a little turtleneck under because I know that I'm gonna want to be warm, but I also don't want to suffocate. And then my cute little gloves. I wish I did have waterproof ones of these also, but I'm still gonna nail Daniel with a snowball either way, so it's fine. Okay. Oh, OTD. It's crunchy. It's a little fun. Oh, good girl. Boxy, sit. Let me see your outfit.
Sit down. She said,
good girl. Her little parka. She's like, throw the damn ball. I'm so happy. I'm in my little cocoon. Yeah. Waxy, get in here. Yeah. She's having the time of her life, bro. Can you see that?
Oh, no.
It's falling. Like, so much of it is falling.
Like, that's how you know it's more icy.
Ever since we've gotten back inside, this has been her. She is in the best mood. Oh my gosh, I don't know what he wants, but he's in like hunt mode. Do you guys see this? Oh my gosh. Edgar! The first time I ever saw him click his mouth like this, I was like, what on earth? And now it just makes me laugh every single time because he looks scary. It scares me.
Baby, I'm gonna drop off my beach now. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Kama Sutra, does it suit you? Your velvet dress is slipping off. Would you stay with me? It's coming through you. Never knew how much it meant when you spoke to me. But everyone needs something. I know that I'm no different. And if you're not home, I'll be happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Oh my god, I look ridiculous. Serving fits, always. You can count on me to serve an outfit. Hi. We're obviously inside now. Wow, love that my bed is a mess. You know what? I don't even care. It's a snow day, as they call them. Nothing even matters today. I am fully aware that this, oh, I have a dog hair on my face. Yup, love that. I am fully aware that this is probably gonna sound like the most dramatic thing ever, but it just took me so long to make my breakfast because I just cannot stop staring out there. This is honestly the most magical thing I think I've ever seen. Can you blame me? I have my little acoustic jams going on, have the warm oatmeal, Daniel the warm cinnamon coffee. Roxy is curled up in a cute little ball on the couch, and there is snow falling from the sky. It's like, as cheesy as it sounds, this is one of those moments when you just feel so engulfed in the human experience, you know? And let me take, I'm getting too far. Anyway, I thought a fun little chat for us to have would be for me to tell you a little bit about the snow I have experienced as a little California sprout. In Southern California, it's really common to go to a place called Big Bear. If you've heard of it, you're probably immediately like, oh yes, Big Bear. If you haven't, it is probably like an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours probably from Los Angeles and also from San Diego. I don't know. It's in that general area. That's not a general area. I'm really bad at explaining this. It's in Southern California. And it was about a 2-hour drive from where I lived. When I was younger, we used to spend Christmases up there in a cabin. And then when I got a little bit older, we stopped going. And then I've been up a few times with my own little family unit, Roxy and Daniel. And I took my sister there a couple of years ago for her birthday. I love the snow. I think the snow is so much fun. I always remember one time when I was much younger going to Big Bear with my babysitters and going down this massive mountain. Probably wasn't that massive, but I was a tiny human at the time, okay? And totally like somersaulting off the end of it and like smacking my head on the freaking ground. It was like one of those patches of ice that was like rock hard, and I just remember hearing my babysitter's voice like, oh shit! And I like get up and I'm like, I'm good! And I've always been that way. I've always been such an adrenaline junkie, and I think that that's really, I mean, I hope that's not an insensitive term to use. I don't think it is. I just mean that in terms of like the expression. Like I'm always chasing an adventure. I love that feeling of adrenaline. It's just so funny though, because I think about that now sometimes, because I get a lot of headaches. I think about it from time to time now, and I'm like, could it be from that incident that I had? I don't know. My partner, Daniel, if you're new here, grew up in Missouri, and so he has all the experience with this. We went down there earlier. He didn't even have a scarf covering his mouth. I was like, sir, I'm freezing. I know you're freezing. He has like his gloves off. He's throwing the ball with bare hands. I'm like, what are you doing? His sister, who still lives over there, sent us photos, and I will just insert them here. They have so much snow. Can't even imagine, but they love it. I mean, I think when you live out there, you're just used to it. Daniel and I talk about this all the time, but it's just so comical how completely opposite our childhoods were. But I think that that's why it works. So the plan for today is really just to soak it all in, eat warm food, stay in the cozies, you know, go out there, make a couple snow angels, get Daniel in the face with a snowball, have a fun little time. I wanted to make that chickpea soup recipe that I showed you guys in one of my Vlogmas videos, but we didn't run to the store early enough, and I will insert another photo to show you what the grocery stores are already looking like right now because of the snowstorm. So that's not gonna happen. I did want to say a piece though about using your resources to help others. Every single time there's any sort of cold, my mind just immediately goes to the people who don't have a jacket to wear or a home to be in or a warm cup of soup, you know? If you are able, please use your resources during any time in your community to help others. I think one of the benefits of social media has been broadening your reach and getting a glimpse of what things are like in other cities, other countries, other towns. But I think that the downfall of that has been us beginning to neglect the community that is right around us. I think that we forget how much of an impact it makes when we shop local, when we eat local, when we have local experiences, when we talk to locals, when we get our coffee from the local shop instead of a Starbucks. All of those things make such a big difference. And I really felt that when we were at the farmer's market last week, because I did pay $7.50 for a bag of snow peas, and that was a little bit of a shock. But I also didn't go in prepared, so that was my fault. And it was so nice. I just stood there talking to the man. He pulled up his Google Photos and was showing me his farm and his animals. He was explaining to me that the middle part of lettuce is supposedly the most bitter part, and that on his product, it's the sweetest part. He was like, bite it, bite it. And it was good. It was really good. And it's just amazing. Daniel bought a jar of pickles from this really sweet lady. She was just absolutely thrilled because he got a sample first. And then we went and looked at a couple other vendors, and he came back and she was like, oh my God! She was so grateful to see him again. And those are the experiences that are gonna make you bond with a place, not going to a Target and stuffing your cart with a whole bunch of manufactured products that have to travel a long way to get to you and are probably made by people who aren't even getting paid a living wage, which is a whole other story completely. And I know that I'm not in a position to, you know, sit on a high horse and talk like I'm perfect, because I'm not. You know, we get groceries from all over the place and we're making conscious efforts, but of course our life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. But I think what I'm getting at here is there's so much power in trying. And there's so much power in community, because not everybody has the resources to shop sustainably and be conscious and go to farmers markets every weekend. Like, people have to work, people have kids, people don't have cars, you know? But I think that people really, really underestimate the value of time. As you guys know, Bingetopia is my favorite podcast on the face of the planet. It is hosted by Eliza McLim and Julia Hava. It is about anything and everything. It's for the girls, the gays, the theys. It discusses current events in a way that is so easily digestible and for the people. And it is surprisingly intersectional for a podcast that is hosted by 2 white women. It's a good listen. I talk about this all the time. This is not new. But in their recent episode on Patreon, I think it is paywalled. It's on their Patreon. They posted an episode with, hold that thought. Hello.
Hola.
Hi, baby. Anyways, Let Women Speak. What I was saying was, in their recent episode, they interviewed Rain Fisher-Kwan, I think is her last name. She is a human rights activist for a lot of different social causes. She's a journalist. She is kind of in the music industry, from what I understand. She's really cool. You've probably seen her, honestly, without realizing it. She's on TikTok and she just makes a lot of commentary videos, and she is so cool. But in this episode, they talked about a variety of things, which was super interesting, but at the end of it, they both said a piece about what is giving them hope moving forward, right? Because there's so much daunting information and news and happenings every single day in the world, and like, we obviously can't ignore them, right? It's a privilege to just not talk about them. But at the end, they both shared a piece about something that's happening both online and in person that is giving them hope, something that we should lead into a little bit more. And they each said their little piece, but Eliza mentioned something about how the other day she went to the soup kitchen to donate time, and it was the first time that all of the spots were taken. And that's my point. We should have these nuanced conversations, and we should try. And yes, a lot of the problems that our country has are in large part, if not completely, at the fault of major corporations. But we are people with power, with time and energy and resources, and we all have different things to give, and all of those things are valuable. If you don't have any clothes to donate, if you don't have any money that you can donate, that's completely okay. Donate an hour, donate 30 minutes. That is the most valuable way that you can actually get a change in your perspective. Talk to people, connect with people, hear their stories, see what you can actually do to help them in a tangible way on a day-to-day basis. Especially now, after the holidays die down, so much of that giving spirit goes away, and it doesn't get picked back up until toy drives in November. That leaves a whole other 10 months of the year when people need help. This snowstorm, thankfully, is only projected to last a day, maybe 2 days. But last year, I can completely understand how it was traumatic for so many different people. And every year there are massive snowstorms. The average household does not have an emergency fund. The average household does not have any resources that they can pull from. And if they do, they're not very deep resources. Anyways, back to the jokes, back to the ha-has. I get a little bit too far sometimes, but I just feel like I don't talk about this stuff enough on my channel, and it is everything that I care about, and it is everything that I talk about in my real life. And so while it's fun to come on here and give you hauls and show you days of my life, I never want to come on here and just be the surface level girl who's giving you an apartment tour and showing you ridiculously priced food. You know what I mean? I do think that, like other issues, people can be nuanced, and you know, I can like nice things, but I can also be realistic about the place that the world is in, and realistic about the responsibility that falls on me to then give to others. So one thing about me, I do have a playlist for every single situation that you could possibly encounter in life. And so, you know that I have a Spotify playlist for a day like this. You know that I do, okay? Let's go. Let's roll the tape. dog mom who takes her role much too seriously, I figured that before we go outside in the snow again, I'm gonna show you how I prepare Roxy for snow, because I don't know, I want her to be comfortable and safe. And you can take the girl out of vet med, but you can't take the vet med out of the girl, you know? So let's go. First things first, we have these little booties. They basically go on the paw like this. So imagine this is the paw, goes in there. This little strap is actually light reflective, so that if for any reason you're outside at nighttime, it can reflect off of the cars. And it has a nice little like rubber sole. But I will say that this really does depend on your dog, because Roxy will wear these and she'll walk in these, but as soon as we start throwing her ball, they're coming off. Like she's gonna just kick them off and they just won't withstand that. So it really depends on you. If you have a dog breed that is specifically made to be in colder weather, you know, but she's a little poodle mix, you know, she's a tiny little thing and we're crazy. So that's just what we do. Next, Roxy has her own little puffer. Looks like this. I think we bought this at Ross or Marshall's. I want to say Marshall's a couple of years ago, and it's done her really well. It's like this waterproof material. It hugs her body really cozy, you know, really comfily. Holds her really well. It hugs her. And then the inside is actually soft, so she'll be warm while she's protected, and I really like that. It also does have a cute little pup on the top, which is funny, but we actually don't leave this on her head, because when we do that, she'll walk like this, and it's actually really hilarious, but like it's kind of sad. So we'll just fold this back so that the hood stays on the ball and it stays out of her face. And it's really nice also because it has a little hole for her leash out of her harness, and that's super convenient. Now for the most arguably ridiculous but definitely cutest part of this haul is her beanie. It's super cute. It has a little strap so it stays on her head, and it has little holes for her ears, and it has little dog bones on it. I'm not even gonna lie to you, when we put this on her, she doesn't move. Like she will sit there and look at us and be like, I refuse. So this doesn't really get used, as you can see. I think it still has the little tag thing on it, but it is really cute. And if we were somewhere where it was like super cold, we would probably make her have it on. Of course, you have to have your ball. Roxy is obsessed with her ball. I also do recommend waterproof toys, but that's honestly getting too deep with it if you live somewhere that it doesn't even snow a lot. We like rubber toys. Use whatever you want. You know, dogs have preferences. If your dog is the kind of dog that wouldn't tolerate booties, or you just don't have booty money in the budget, or you just can't find them, whatever it is, we really like to put a balm on her paw pads to protect them from the cold. This is something that a lot of groomers do to prevent the paw pads from cracking, especially in the drier months and like in the summer. This one is by Burt's Bees. From what I understand, don't quote me on this, from what I understand, Burt's Bees is a safe brand for dogs to use. I know that like whenever I put on my Burt's Bee chapstick, like the original scent, Roxy's like obsessed with it. She's like, and sometimes we put it on her nose. It looks a little chapped. But we will take this and just kind of dip her paw in it, and it just provides a layer of protection for her feet so that if she does take her paw pads off, she has like a little bit of lotion. But then this morning she did slide because of it. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing actually. This is definitely a little bit excessive. Like in terms of going out to get one, you can probably just use one that you have in your house, but it's definitely a good idea to have one specifically for your dog. And what I'm talking about is a dog towel. This is Roxy's. It has a little paw print on it, and we typically use it from when she takes a bath, but obviously when you come back inside, paws are a little wet, so this is what we use, so that we're making sure we're not using our human towels on her, because that would be a little gross. But yeah, those are just kind of the basics. It's really not that deep. Have fun, be safe. Obviously if it's like a blizzard, maybe don't have your dog go out there, you know, maybe you don't go out there, but hopefully that's helpful. It be like that. Look how cute this mug is that I got Daniel for Father's Day, I think 2 years ago. That's him and Roxy. And I just think it's so cute every time I use it. I'm not gonna spill this time. Beautiful. It's the small wins. It's the small wins, it really is. Perfect. Cheers. Oh fuck, it's cold. We're trying to get a family photo in the snow. It is very cold. Okay, we're done. Dude, look at how much snow there is now. It's so much thicker. She doesn't even care though. Look at her. She's just going at it. Good girl.
So on, burning slowly, smelling sweat and kerosene.
ahead of me. Oh, look how red my nose is. Ooh, me and my bestie. Bestie, say cheese. Wait, I want to show you guys when we put Roxy's hood on how she walks. Okay, so right now we have it pinned back, right? Okay, she walks like a sad girl. Lexi!
So long silent movies to waking her.
It's okay.